I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Wednesday, January 7th, with news from Arkansas and maybe a touch from other places as well. Boy, it's cold outside, but there's plenty of hot air at the Capitol, lots of meetings underway, lots of talk, not necessarily much progress. The Independent Citizens Commission is meeting on pay for legislators, state officials, and judges. It's getting piled up with a mountain of information, but time is running short on the February 2nd deadline for making a recommendation for pay raises this year. The commissioners seem to want several things. They want to try and separate out some data that makes it easier to compare Arkansas pay to comparable states that are comparable in size and income and in the structure of the jobs. That's not such an easy task to do. States do things very differently. The information is sometimes hard to get. I noted with interest today that Circuit Judge Sean Womack, who was a Republican senator in his day, and the Republicans opposed this pay raise amendment, plans to make a presentation to the committee about an increase in pay for judges. He's all for that now, of course, because he's a judge. There's actually a pretty good state summary of judicial pay available from the National Center for State Courts. It shows Arkansas, when you factor in cost of living, has the 9th highest pay for trial judges in the country, in a state that has the 48th per capita income. I hope the commission will see and look at things like this before they're done. There is, by the way, now a website for the Independent Citizens Commission. It's available to you. You can find its URL on my blog, the Arkansas blog, and it has a lot of this data that the commission is gathering. Also at the Capitol today, incoming Governor Asa Hutchinson announced that he would name Ted Thomas, who'd been a campaigner for him, as chairman of the State Public Service Commission. Thomas is a lawyer, former state representative, former administrative law judge at the PSC, qualified for the job. There had been some rumors he was being considered for head of the Department of Finance Administration. I think PSC is a good fit. We're going to be looking closely at Hutchinson appointees to that commission to see if they're tougher on utilities or not quite so tough on utilities as some previous commissioners have been. Asa Hutchinson thinks that the Public Service Commission is a place to help business development, and that usually means more favors to businesses, but sometimes not so many favors to ratepayers. The Little Rock schools are subject of a big meeting at the Capitol today. It's underway right now. It just got started. The district is making a case that it's capable of bringing 6 schools out of academic distress. There's a strong feeling in the state that the district can't get the job done, and perhaps the state should take over. I know one prominent Little Rock businessman, Gary Smith, is planning to testify today that to shake up the district the way it needs to be shaken up, the state needs to take over. There'll be a recommendation coming from this committee to the State Board of Education tomorrow. News in the real estate world: Jerry Jones, the billionaire owner of the Dallas Cowboys, has made a $7 million real estate investment in Fayetteville. He's taking a look at trying his luck at developing a big piece of property by a regional park that some other developers failed at getting ahead on. The Little Rock Airport. Everybody in Little Rock government seems to want to be a member of the Little Rock Airport Commission. I've never quite understood why you get a nice parking place close to the airport if you travel a lot. But the news today is that Stacy Hurst, who left the city board to make a race for State House of Representatives, lost a close and bitter race to Clark Tucker, wants that seat on the Airport Commission that's been vacated by Kathy Webb, who's been elected to the city board of directors. Mayor Stoll at one time apparently promised this seat to Meredith Catlett, a lawyer who used to be a business partner of his. There's several other lawyers who are interested. A hot issue, other city directors who like a tradition of letting an outgoing city director name their spot on the city commission as sort of a little retirement gift, might not want to go along with the mayor if he doesn't name Stacy Hurst. Stacy Hurst made some enemies in her campaign, and so there's already a counter movement against her appointment underway in the community. Earthquake shook North Texas yesterday. Questions have been raised there, as they were in Arkansas, about whether the prevalence of hydraulic fracturing or fracking for gas and oil has contributed to the seismic activity. It reminds me of the old joke they used to tell about Pine Bluff. You know the smell's bad, but that smells like money. Well, maybe the ground shaking, that just feels like money being made. We should just ignore that, right? Finally, a plug for the Arkansas Times. I hope you go to the Arkansas Times website now and again. You can get stuff there. You won't necessarily get my dulcet tones talking at you, but there's some good stuff to read. Some great reading there, news you can use about the Lost 40 Craft Brewery that's open on the east side of Little Rock. Great food, lots of craft beer. We've got some news about the opening of the Arkansas Fresh Bakery down in Bryant, one of the best bread bakers in town. News there, too, about the details of a screening that the Arkansas Times plans with the Little Rock Film Festival, that great movie Chinatown. We're going to be showing it on the big screen at the Ron Robinson Theater. And also the Gina Davis Film Festival is coming to Bentonville. I'd want to end on a quick sober note, the news of a slaughter of writers and cartoonists for a French magazine in Paris by terrorists, not yet fully known, although there are many speculations on what the motivation for the attack was that this satirical newspaper has been tough on extremists of all stripes, not just Muslim, but other religions as well, has tried to use humor to diffuse unpleasant situations. 12 people killed there, 4 cartoonists. I think the message here is not that guns are so powerful, but that the word still is far more powerful. The outpouring of editorial cartoons in response to this today has been striking and won't make up for the loss of life, but I think it says that the pen will live on. I certainly hope that's the case. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.